Dream Team, it's your boy D-Neil back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Tim Minchin once again talking about religion. Tim makes great points when he talks about religion, so I'm always intrigued and interested to see more Tim Minchin talk about religion. Before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You got a favorite video suggestion, drop it in the comment section. What we got, Tim?
Sometimes because material like that doesn't necessarily respect entirely some of the idiosyncrasies of a couple of the major monotheistic doctrines. People make the assumption upon listening to such material that I'm not religious myself, which is pretty spot on. But sort of beside the point. I don't want to be divisive, you know. And besides, I think you can be spiritual. I think you can have a deep sense of spirituality without actually adhering to any of the major religions.
I like that one. You can have a deep sense of spirituality without adhering to any of the major religions. I like that.
Spirituality without actually adhering to any of the major religions. As it turns out, I'm not at all spiritual. Just got this real sense of emptiness. But I believe in things, you know. I believe in rocks and gravity, and I have like a relativist morality, which I can manipulate to suit my worldview, so that I can justify group sex, for example, whilst abhorring group prayer. Works for me. But you have to admit, really.
So I can justify group sex while abhorring group prayer. I love Tim, bro.
Works for me. But you have to admit, really, ironically, I guess, given all the religious violence in the world, one of the things that actually binds us all, that we all have in common across all cultures and indeed all time since the beginning of recorded thought, is this tendency to invoke the supernatural to help us explain those things in our lives which we find difficult to explain using only the evidence at hand, you know.
Unexplained. They're unexplainable, Tim. Not difficult. They're unexplainable.
Those things in our lives which we find difficult to explain using only the evidence at hand, you know. A modern example of this I saw on telly recently, a show about, it was called, I think it was Miracles in the Womb, or Extreme Wombs, or something, Changing Wombs. It wasn't that. But anyway, it was about multiple births, and a woman had given birth to naturally conceived identical quadruplet girls, which is very rare. And she said, the doctors told me there was a 1 in 64 million chance that this could happen. It's a miracle. But of course, as we know, it's not, because things that have a 1 in 64 million chance of happening happen all the time.
I could agree with that. That's a curse to me. If that happened to me, I would be like, why, God? I wouldn't be praising. I would be like, why me? Quadruplets? Four at one time? What? Not me. I'm not. I would feel. Babies are a blessing, but don't give me 4 at a time. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I would be stressed beyond belief.
Happen all the time. To presume that your 1 in 64 million chance thing is a miracle is to significantly underestimate the total number of things that there are. Maths. It's interesting, actually, now that I live overseas. It struck me anew when I came back to Australia this time that here this compulsion towards the supernatural and the mystical seems to manifest itself mostly in Australia in the presence of bumper stickers.
Okay.
You know the ones I'm talking about? They're usually purple, and they generally imply the existence of a benevolent spirit of some sort looking after us all, and especially the people who bothered to put the sticker on their bumper. They say things like the goddess is dancing, and my favourite probably is don't drive faster than your angel can fly. As if of all the possible restrictions an angel might face, speed is the... Unless they're just proposing the possibility of the existence of unfit angels. And probably the one that annoys me most, because it's most common, I think, is, I'm sure you've all seen it, magic happens. Magic happens, they usually sparkle. I don't know what it is about magic happen stickers on cars, but every time I see one, I want to get out my permanent marker and sort of sneak over and write underneath it, so does cot death.
Oh my Lord.
Under which a spiritual person with their slightly more ephemeral marker might choose to write something like, yeah, but sometimes the magician has to do bad magic in order to A, test our faith, or B, for the purpose of a greater good.
You can't argue with it. You can't argue with it. You can't argue. Oh, what he's saying. It's logical. I honestly, my belief is in a higher power, but I don't believe God interferes with life on earth. I don't know. That's just one of the things that I think I don't believe you interfere with your life while on earth. Know what I'm saying? I believe your life is kind of, I guess, like a test, but I don't believe he determines like your future. He already has your plans, because then it's like, I don't know if free will's a thing, if he already knows what you're going to do ahead of time, or he already knows every decision that you're going to make, and he already knows what your future is going to be, then it doesn't feel like free will at that point. And so I believe he's up there, but I don't believe he interferes with life on earth. That's my belief.
Test our faith, or B, for the purpose of a greater good. Under which someone like me, with their permanent marker, might choose to write something along the lines of, fuck off. Thus ending an otherwise perfectly sensible bumper-based philosophical argument. I have a particular religious friend I go head-to-head with and get very boring at dinner parties with on these sort of big questions, and he always sort of seems to think that to be sceptical is to be cynical, and that my view of the world sees no beauty, which I always argue is not the case. I mean, I find the world a really exciting place. There are ideas that are a bit more sciencey, that are just as exciting as the kind of magic-y ones, you know, like the one of the greatest ideas of all time, evolution, the theory of natural selection, you know. Not only is it, how would you say, right, I'm just practicing my timing for my American tour.
Okay, if you want to, I'm going to stop it right here, guys. If you want to see the rest of this video, I didn't know it was like, but I've already done a video with a part of this in it. And so, I didn't know. So, like the first 4 or 5 minutes are what I hadn't seen yet. But if you want to see the rest of this, look up my video on Tony the Fish. You can just put Christian reacts to Tim Minchin, Tony the Fisher. It's pretty recent. It's fairly recent. You can put DTN comedy, Tony the Fish, and it'll pull it up for you. But yeah, I have reacted to the rest of this video. So we're going to stop it right here. So that's all we got for this one. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon and drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all links in the description. That's all we got for this one. It's your boy D Neal. Out.